All right, so we're gonna get going on day one of week one for September. So excited to be here with you guys. Like I said, mini bands, dumbbells tonight, something to record your assessments on. And after we go through these assessments, if you felt like maybe you wanted to do this in front of a mirror or have somebody else assess you, look at you while you're doing this, or if you want me to do that, we can do that as well, or you can, take this on your own time. Because not being able to see yourself sometimes does make it a little challenging, but you'll have this to go back to and review later on after the workout. Okay, so let's get warmed up. Go ahead and start with just ankle rotations, and just easy does it. We're just gonna start from the ground up. So I want you to try to do like 10 revolutions on one foot in one direction, and then go 10 in the other direction as well. We sometimes forget about our feet and how important they are supporting our body weight. But let's go ahead and get it going. Point and flex. Not only that, you're balancing, so your other foot, right, is getting a little bit of mobility here and stabilization. So pointing and flexing. And then we'll just step onto that foot and switch to the other side. So ankle rotations. This workout tonight is kind of a slow burn. We're going to have a long warm-up and work on rotation and anti-rotation tonight. So a lot of stability. Go in the other direction if you haven't switched already. And like I said in my email, go ahead and point and flex, that this month is all about flexibility and mobility training. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, it's just going to be different. So we will still throw in some high intensity stuff because I know you guys love it, but with a bigger focus on range of motion. All right, set that foot down. Go ahead and take one leg. I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see me. And these are bent knee swings. Okay, the idea here is that we're engaging our glutes in the back, okay, and then we are stretching our hip flexor as our leg goes back. We're also getting a stretch over our glutes as we bring our knee up. And of course, just creating range of motion. So I want you to also start thinking about your standing leg. Whenever you're doing balance work, your ankle is maybe rocking side to side, stabilizing. When you're in this position, your knees should be tracking next or towards your toes. And then switch legs. So same idea. Doesn't have to be fast. I find it does help if I get my arms going at the same time, but whatever is best for you is perfectly fine. So keep going. You got 2 more in each direction. And now we're moving on. We're going to go straight leg swing. So the leg's going to come in front of the body this time. If you need to hold on to something, you can. But this one, you're really going to feel that lateral rocking in your stabilizing ankle. And that's a good thing. Our ankles are meant to move in so many different directions. It is a great hip opener, but again, stabilizing in the standing leg, and then switch to the other side. If you need to hold on to something, it's good to hold on in front of you so that your leg can still be mobile in front of the body. Good, keep going. And now if you start to feel wobbly, engage your core a little bit, squeeze it tight. I know it's hard to do this. And one more in each direction, and done. All right, last thing we're gonna do for kind of this stretching is shoe shiner. So you're going to dig one heel to the front, both hands reaching down toward the ankle, all the way up, and circle the arms around. Again, same leg, reach, and circle around. Now I want to show you something. This is incorrect, to round and then come up, but really lead with your chest. And so even if your fingers don't go to your toes, okay, you're leading with a nice proud chest and a mostly flat back, slightly elevated through the tailbone. And it feels so good. One more time. And hold right here. Okay, go ahead and take your hands behind, lift up. You can just set your foot down to balance a little better. And switch sides. So heel to the ground. Again, ooh, a little tight on that side. That's why we do so many of these. First time, if we don't get it all the way down, then maybe by the third one, you get a little more range of motion. Take your time. If you need a little more in those shoulder rolls, just go slow and steady. And let's go one more right here. Nice flat back, all the way up, and release. Good. From here, just some real gentle rotations through the trunk. Okay, you're also tapping the toes so the knee comes in. So we're going to continue warming up. This is phase 2 of our warm-up. We're going to go down to our mat for the next one, okay? So to do that, we're going to come down in a walkout position. So go to a flat back, and then just walk your hands out to the ground. While you're here, I want you to roll up onto the balls of your feet, roll forward, and then push your heels back. So roll up onto your toes and push back. Again, creating mobility in the feet. And one more time, roll up. And now rock all the way back into a downward facing dog and just hold here for a moment. And then we're going to drop our knees down to the ground, sit back in a child's pose, and then come back up into your downward facing dog. And let's try that again. Knees to the ground, child's pose. And up again. We'll do one more just like that. And child's pose. And stay there. All right, moving along. Come up onto your knees. So this one's going to be a little tricky, but I know that you can do it. So you're going to take your right leg forward. You can tuck your toes behind you in the back. And really here what I want you to feel is a little hip flexor stretch in the back leg. Okay, that's the first part. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your head. Okay, all you're going to do is transfer this right leg back underneath the knee without wobbling too much, all right? So squeeze through the abdominals, squeeze your backside, and take the foot or the leg in. And then come back out and hold. So if you can see, my knee is over my ankle, just pressing forward a little bit in that back hip, and then bring it in. And you're going to feel a little wobbling. That's all right. Good. And switch it up. So this is more of a stretch to begin with. We're going to add a little strength in with this in a few moments. And one more time on each side. So if you have your mini bands, after we do this next leg, then that's when you're going to grab a light mini band and we'll add some resistance here. So go ahead and grab that now. I'm going to use a light mini band. I want to be able to pull that band apart without putting too much stress on the shoulders right away. Okay. So you're going to hold on to the outside of the band. You're going to pull it apart so it's right over the shoulders, or sorry, right over the head. You're back in that kneeling position. Tension on the band, engage your core. Okay, now step hold a little bit faster through these movements, adding some upper body strength. Okay, as you're doing this, I want you to also draw your shoulder blades down your back. Keep your chin pulled in tight, and trying not to let the low back take any of this movement, but really squeezing the core instead. All right, last one like this. And now we're going to add a little more, but first, let's bring our hands down for a moment, shake out our arms. All right, the next phase of this is a rotation. So knees are tucked under. We're going right back up. Separate the band. Pull your chin in. Okay, take a lunge forward. Hold. Now you're just going to rotate, rotate, rotate. It's not going to be a huge rotation. So if you find that when you rotate your knees or your hips get out of alignment, then you've gone too far. So slight rotation. Try to keep your biceps on either side of your ears. Come center and step back. Switch to the other side and lift tall through the chest. Slight rotation, and back to center, and down. One more on each side, and just think about the rib cage, moving around the spine, and here's your last one. My shoulders are getting tired already, and back to the center, and release. All right, roll those shoulders around, release your band, and go and cross your arms forward and back over your body, and we're gonna move on into a seated position. So, for this one, we're working on internal rotation on our back hip. Okay, so you're going to feel that back hip rotating in, and I want you to take your hands behind you and just hold here for a moment. I'm going to turn sideways actually so you can see this better. Now from here, what I want you to do, okay, is you're going to take your back leg, whichever leg is back, and that is now going to be your front leg. So you're just going to pivot, and now you have a new back leg. Okay, so internal rotation, and then just go again. Pivot, 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 and just, again, creating mobility in the hips. Hands are supporting our body. So this is the gentlest position that you can be in from where we're going to go, okay? And now you can stay here if you want to with these rotations, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you're gonna take your hands off the ground, you're gonna engage your core a little more, and then you're gonna pivot those legs up and over to the other side. And up and over. And you just notice how my arms travel across my body. As I do that, I want you to try the same thing, or if not, keep your hands behind you. Now let's do one more on each side. Rock from one butt cheek to the next. And switch again, and hold. Okay, level 3. We're gonna add some hip thrust in here. So doesn't matter which leg you start back, either way is fine. Okay, you're gonna start first by having your hands behind you. Okay, and then we're gonna just come up onto our knees, reach our hands forward, open our hips, and then hinge our hips back, touching the ground, come all the way back up, okay? So if you need to have your hands on the ground for a little assistance, that's fine. Let's do 3 right here. Here's 1, and here's 2. Arms stay in front, and 3. We're gonna do that rotation again. So sit back down and keep your arms up if you can. Rotate the leg, shift to the other side, and 3 right here. Let's lift up, 3, and 2. One more time. And keeping the arms in the air, rotate to the other side without caving in. And again, last time, 3 on each side. And last one here. Good, engage that core, rock onto your other glute. And last time, 3. And then come right back into the center and relax. Good. Take your knees and just fan them open and close. Kind of relax the hips a little bit. And moving on, plank is next. So we're going to do a set of 10 or 3 rounds of 10-second planks. They're very short intentionally, so you can squeeze as hard as you possibly can and then release, and squeeze as hard as you possibly can and then release, all right? That's the idea here. So we're not going for a long endurance set, but really just a strength set. 3, 2, 1, everybody in plank position. You can be on your elbows if you want, but squeeze your abdominals so tight. Keep holding, keep holding. Almost there. And drop to the ground, sit back. Do 2 more just like that. I know they're short. We're just starting. And 3, 2, 1, come forward and hold and squeeze and press against the ground. Nice job. 3, 2, 1, and drop down. And on your last one, okay, I want you to squeeze a little bit harder, and I want you to grip the ground with your fingers. Ready? Everybody up. Hold on tight to the ground with your fingers, especially your forefinger and thumb. Almost there. We got 3, 2, 1, and done. So if you want to stay with that option, you can. We're going to move into shoulder planks or shoulder taps next, and these are very slow and controlled. Okay, so knees or toes, up to you. Hold, and we're stabilizing through the shoulders. We're trying not to rotate in our trunk. So keep your feet hip distance or wider, and let's go here. We've just got 3 on each side. So pick up one hand, and if you don't want to do this, then just plank for as long as I'm doing these shoulder taps, and then you'll get to drop down. Good. 1 more on each side. And release. Okay, sit back. A good stretch also is to flip your hands up if you want to. And we're going to do 2 more just like that. So come back, stabilize the shoulders, press against the floor 3 times. Slow, slow, slow. You'll notice how your body, your opposite foot wants to pop off the ground. Okay, your hips want to rotate. You're fighting that. It's a great rate of strength train through your core. 1 more on each side. And last one. And release. Okay, 1 more time. Then come back up, stabilize, squeeze your butt, look out past the end of your mat, and go. Whew. Starting to feel that slow motion now, aren't you? Yeah. 2 more on each side. Great job, great job. All the pressure is equal on your toes. And 1 more time here. And that'll do it. Sit back and stretch. Okay, last thing we're going to do is, again, another anti-rotation move. This is for the core and the hips. You're going to lie on your back. Okay, we're going to take our legs up. To begin with, we're just going to use both legs going out and in, and then we'll separate them and just do one only. So I want you to feel your hips grounded to the mat. One of the reasons we're doing both legs first, so you can feel the pressure of both hips on the ground, arms by your side. You're going to open your legs out to the side in a big V, squeeze your inner thighs, and bring your legs together. So 2 counts open, 2 counts closed. We'll do 4 only. And squeeze it in. So fairly easy, but you're feeling those hips nice and balanced on the mat. And 1 more time here. Now, next up, you're going to do one leg at a time. So choose which leg you want to start with. Doesn't matter to me. One foot is flexed up. The other leg is going out to the side as far as you can without that hip rocking off the floor. And then squeeze back in. Same leg. Do it again. 4 times on each side. So it might only be a couple of inches in one direction. You're fighting the urge to rotate your hips off of the mat. One more time here. Come on, push the hip down and squeeze it in. Other leg, okay? So out to the side. Now I find I have a lot more range of motion on this side. That is okay. 2 counts in one direction, 2 counts in the next. And here's your last one, and then we are gonna go through our assessment here in a moment. And release, good. Bring your knees in and roll yourself up to a standing position, and we're gonna move on. So this is where if you want to have something to write with, or your phone, or whatever to record this, I'm also gonna send out an email that has a little more description into these assessments and what they should look like and the range of motion you should have. So if it doesn't make sense right now, it will make more sense as I give you more information outside of this class, okay? But to begin with, what I want you to do is I want you to locate a line, okay, or a marker on the floor. So for me, I'm gonna use this mat, I have a line, it's gonna go right between my body. My feet are gonna be right underneath my hips, okay? So this first one, what we're gonna be testing is internal rotation of the hips, okay? Most people have pretty good external rotation where we open our hips out to the side, but coming in, our internal movement is not always as strong. So what I want you to do, okay, is you're gonna take your right toe, you have your line, your right toe, you're gonna just pivot in the hip only and try to tap your toe. I'm gonna show you from the front here. Try to tap your toe into your line and then come back up. And what I don't wanna see is this movement right here. See how my whole hip's rotated? It's just the leg in the hip socket. So you're gonna try to tap in, trying to keep the leg as straight as possible and then come back out. Now I'm sticking to the ground a little bit with these shoes and the pavement. So if you're sticking, you can try this without shoes on later on or whatever works for you. But what I want you to do once you have the movement and you have your hands on your hips, make sure you're not moving your hands and your hips, is to think about your rotation. Your goal is to get a 45-degree movement in, okay? So if you think about right here is 90, okay, the way your foot is pointing across your body is 90, you're trying to go for 45 degrees, and that's good rotation. So again, we don't have a measuring tool, so just kind of use your best judgment. You can look down and be like, oh yeah, that's maybe 40, yeah, maybe 45. Okay, just make a judgment. You're gonna notice if you have really poor rotation, and then obviously as you get stronger and more flexible, then you're gonna notice that it gets better. So I'm gonna try it on the other side, okay? So again, just make a note on your phone or your piece of paper and be like, that was about 40 degrees. I know for this side for me, my rotation is not strong on that internal movement, okay? So just try a couple, see where you land. It doesn't have to be like the first one is the one you take, okay? And once you've done that, okay, go ahead and shake out your legs a little bit. Now we're gonna go external. So we're gonna take our feet into a V type, or I'm sorry, into a parallel position. We're gonna be opening out like a dancer, like a ballet position. So again, this is, okay, this is straight on. You're trying to get out to about 50 degrees, okay? So that's about just over halfway from this full 180 position here. So nobody's probably gonna get there, but to that full line. But what we're trying to do is just rock onto our heels and open to the side, okay? And look at your feet. You might notice one has better rotation than the other. Close it back up, do a couple more. You wanna do this without sticking your butt out. So sometimes we stick our butt out, bring it in. Again, your goal is 50 degrees, okay, in that external rotation, that's the hip. We're measuring how much your hip can open, okay? Again, take an assessment, okay? And again, if you don't wanna do this, you don't have to, you can do something else while I'm going through this, that's fine. The next thing you're gonna do is a kneeling thoracic assessment. So back in that kneeling position, that's why we warm this up. Knee over ankle, okay? And if while you're taking your measurements, you just wanna do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, all the way down. And then fill in the blanks of what we actually did later on, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna take our fingers behind our ears here. Now we're measuring the rotation in our trunk. Our thoracic spine is right through the middle, okay? What we wanna see here is that our knee points toward our toes, our hips stay in alignment, and we're not shifting our hips at all. Okay, our hips aren't dropping, we're not rocking under the side of our feet, but we're literally just, like I always say, rotating under the rib cage. So your goal here with this one, okay, perfect flexibility, which we're not trying to be perfect, we're just measuring. is 30 degrees. So it's not a huge range of motion here. Elbows have to stay wide, or if you have something to hold on to keep your shoulders open, that would be great too. You're just gonna rotate, okay, and then just pause for a moment, okay, and then come back to center. So if you were to go all the way over, right, you'd be like in a 90-degree rotation, but we're just trying to get at least 30 or close to that without the rest of our body changing shape. This is why I said if you want to do this in front of a mirror later on, you can also do that as well. Once you've done a couple tries, record that and then switch to the other side. Same thing, knee over ankle, hips are tucked under, okay, knee is under hip, and we're just going to pick up our rib cage and just pivot around our spine, keep our elbows wide, and right back to center. So we don't have rotation in our thoracic spine or in any joint that's supposed to rotate. We start rotating joints that aren't supposed to rotate, and that's really what we're trying to do here is figure out where we're at so that we can work with what we've got and strengthen those areas that are weak. Let's do one more try, and then come back to the center and stand up, okay? So record that, right and left rotation. That's thoracic rotation. If you're wondering, cervical rotation, that's upper part of your neck, upper part of your back, cervical part of your body. So what we're gonna do now is a lateral movement. So it's a head tip to the side. We do this stretching all the time, but here's what I want you to think about. A lot of times we have poor posture, and so we like kind of get all kinked, or we try to meet our shoulder to our ear. Why don't you just sit nice and level, hands by your side, knees bent, and just tip your head to the side while you push your hands down, okay? So your goal here is lateral movement, 45 degrees. So again, if you were at 90, right, you would touch all the way down to your shoulders, so somewhere just halfway in between. Okay, try both sides. Again, if you have a mirror, this is a great one to do a mirror with, or a partner to tell you. Okay, so just do a couple of those. Feels good too. And after you've done that, make a recording. And some days, like your cervical flexibility is just way different than others, and that has nothing to do with your actual flexibility. Sometimes it's just how you slept, or how much stress you're holding on to. But those are all factors in flexibility, so we can keep those in mind, but just know that it can change. Okay, so the next one is rotational. So you want to do this without rotating your body at all, just only your head. Okay, you're looking for an 80-degree rotation. So that's almost all the way over, right? Almost all the way to the end of your shoulder. Okay, so you can see me, I have pretty good rotation today in my cervical spine. But some people might have to just stop right here. Okay, maybe one side is kinked and the other side you have lots of flexibility. So again, without moving the rest of your body like this, you can rotate. Just turn your head only. And we only have 3 more, okay? Okay, last set is shoulder, everybody's favorite. So once you record that rotational cervical flexibility, okay, the next one is shoulder. This one is flexion, and we'll do extension. So flexion, okay, your goal here is with the arm, you get it all the way up over your shoulder, 180 degrees, okay, making a straight line. That's perfect flexibility in your shoulder without compensating with an arched back, rounded spine, okay? If we have upper body posture issues, it's hard to get our arm all the way up. You might feel like you stop right here, okay? So if that upper body is curved forward in that kyphosis, then it's hard. But we're looking for full extension in our back and also a strong straight arm. So this is not a very long assessment here, okay? Do each side. Okay, notice that you can get straight up. We're not looking going further back. So make an assessment, both sides, right, left. That's flexion. Next up is extension. Okay, again, this is a great one to look in the mirror. But you're gonna have your hands by your side. You're gonna push your arms back. You're gonna see how far that arm can go back. We're looking for 50 to 60 degrees. Okay, if it was straight back behind you, parallel to the ground, that'd be 90. So 50 to 60 degrees somewhere in there is great without the rest of the body moving to get that position. So do each side. Okay, and again, you might want to come back to some of these, but if you need to look in a mirror. Okay, and release. So that's your flexion. Last one is lateral abduction, and this one is going to be challenging for a lot of people. So first thing I want you to do is check for pain. So take a hand, cross over your shoulder, and I want you to lift your shoulder up to the side, or arm up to the side. If you feel pain right there, okay, you may want to just stop here and say, no, and to make a note that this is painful for me, and that you might not want to do the next part of the assessment, okay? So the next part, though, if you don't feel any pain, you're good. No pain in the shoulder, neck, is to go all the way up. So palm facing down, all the way up, and trying to get up to 170 or 180. Okay, yeah, all the way straight up. Okay, if you can get almost all the way up, that's great flexibility. Now notice here that it's not lifting my shoulder to get up, but it's just only the arm keeping the shoulder pulled down. Okay, try the same thing on the other side. Again, see if there's any pain. If there's pain, that might be your stopping point. There's no pain. Again, knees soft, all the way up, straight arm. I know I'm kind of out of the frame here. And if that feels good and you're not having your shoulders in your ears, then mark that down. That's your last bit of flexibility assessment that you're going to do. I know it's different than we're used to. I know it's not exercise per se, but you know what? It's really important because it's the foundation for your exercise. So write those down, and I'd love to see your assessments if you want to send me an email with those, just as out of curiosity, to know how to train you better. Okay, once you're ready, it's time to bring our heart rate up. Okay. I know that was a lot of talking, sorry. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is a side shuttle. Okay, I'm sorry, but one of your exercises is a side-to-side shuffle shuttle, okay? So wherever your space is, okay, you're gonna just go down and back. So I want you to get those feet going. If you need to do side stepping instead of any bouncing, that's fine, all right? So first thing, that's one of your moves. You're gonna see it all the time. The next thing you're gonna do is 5 jumping jacks, okay? So we're gonna start with 5 jumping jacks, and then you're gonna do 5 shuffles down and back, okay? So for the first 45 seconds, you're just gonna be on repeat with 5 jumping jacks and 5 side-to-side shuffles, all right? So the goal is to bring the heart rate up and get us into a nice working zone. So let's get ready, get set, and begin right here. Come on, 5 jumping jacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shuffle it down. 5 times on your own count. And then you're just gonna repeat that until the timer goes off. Okay, 5 again. 1, 2, 3. Shuffle it down. Good, keep going. Again, your goal is to bring the heart rate up. And that timer is going off here in just a moment. And time is up. So quick recovery. All right, we're moving on. This time, you've got 5 butt kickers, okay? 5 butt kickers on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna run forward, run back. Ready, set, go. 5 butt kickers on each side. You're gonna run forward and run back. Here we go, 5 times. So these are short little movements. And again, if you wanna keep it low impact, then you just march fast. But I want that forward and back movement. As soon as you're done, you're back to butt kickers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go forward and back. And time is almost up. And time is up right there. Little recovery. Moving on. 5 squats. Okay, so 5 squats in place. And then you're going to take 5. We're going to do wide marches forward and wide marches back. 5. Repeating. Ready? Let's go. 5 big squats. Squeeze your butt on the way up. And then you're doing a big wide, it's like a monster walk forward and monster walk back. 5 times. Feel your obliques work when your legs are out to the side. It's a little awkward, I know, but it's all right. And right back to 5 squats again. And take it forward and back. And as soon as you get to that last one, active recovery and hold, okay? Next up, 5 lunges on each side. 5 lunges on each side, back stepping lunges. And then you're gonna hold in place and do shuffles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? Set, 5 lunges each side, and begin. Chest is up. Doesn't have to be fast. Nice job. And then 5 shuffles. And then repeat again. Easy lunges. If lunges bother your knees, do back kicks right behind you just like that instead. Keep going. You got 10 seconds left. Feeling good. We're going to have a descending ladder here. We're going to do all these same moves again in sets of 4. Time's up for less time, okay? So if you remember, our first one was jumping jacks and side shuffle. So this time 4, and you have got 40 seconds on the clock. Ready? 4 jumping jacks, go. 4, 3, 2, side shuffles right here, 4 times, okay? And then right back to the 4 again. Keep it coming. You are halfway there. So on this second time through is where you should start feeling the burn, feeling your heart rate increasing and staying high. Nice job, nice job. And time is up right here. Quick recovery. Butt kickers with a run forward and back. 4 on each side. Get ready, get set, and begin. Go. 4, 3, 2, run forward and back 4 times. Quick little stops. And then right back at those butt kickers again. 4, 3, 2. Good job, almost there. And time is up. Woo. All right, moving on. Squats. You've got 4 squats. You've got those 4 squat walks forward and back. Get ready, get set, and go. Here's 4, 3, get low, 2, and wide walk forward. Good job, good job. Come on, use your arms at the same time. And back to your 4 squats. Come on, drive those hips low and squeeze your inner thighs as you rise. Nice work. The more your toes are turned out on these walks, the easier it is in mobility, not necessarily in strength. And time is almost up right here, done. Woo. Take a recovery, lunges. 4 lunges on each side, 4 shuffles on each side. Get ready, get set, and begin. Here's 4. Remember, 4 on each side, not total. And then 4 shuffles. 4, 3, 2, do it again. You need to do walking lunges, you have space, great. Do it. And shuffle it out. Good job, keep coming. You've got this. Let's finish up with those shuffles if you're on it with me. And then our time is up right here. We are gonna break it down, go into 3s. We're gonna decrease our time. 35 seconds on the clock. Get ready, you're starting with jumping jacks for 3, and go. 3, 2, 1, side shuffle, 3 times. Come on, 3 jacks. 1, 2, 3. I couldn't let it be a super easy night for you now, could I? And time is up right here. Whew. Shake it out. All right, moving on. Butt kickers. 3 for the run forward, run back, and begin. 1, 2, 3, run forward, fast feet, fast feet. Come on, you got 3 times forward and back. And then butt kickers again. You know, work on that deceleration as you break in each direction. And keep at it. And let's get one more in right here. And then our time will be up. Done. Whew. All right. Squats. 3 squats. 3 walks forward and back. Get ready. Get set. And let's go right here. 3 squats. 2. Walk wide. Come on, fast. You've got to get down and back nice and quick so you can get more squats in. Okay, right back at it, nice and deep. 3, 2, woo. And one more time here for me. Let's get those 3 squats in right here. 3, 2, and time is up. Woo. Recover, 3 lunges. Doing great. Those short recoveries are what's keeping that heart rate high. Let's go in 3, 2, and begin. Lunge. 3 times. 3. Just body weight. I know it's kicking our butts. And then 3 shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Go again. You can do it. 10 seconds more. I have time for one more combo, or at least part of one. And time is up right there. Whew. Let's break it down. 2s. You're at 30 seconds. 30 seconds on the clock. Get ready, get set, and let's go. Jacks. 2, and shuffle. Come on. I went too many shuffles, sorry. It's just down and back. Come on, 2 jacks, 2 shuffles. Woo. Come on, 5 seconds to go. You got this. And time is up. Woo. Recover. Okay. Butt kickers. 2. Run forward, run back 2 times in each direction. Get ready. Get set. And go. 1, 2. Run forward. Decelerate. And do it again. 1, 2. Almost there. And time is up. Whew. All right, squats. 2 squats, 2 squat walks. You're not going to have a ton of time to get this in. Maybe just 1. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Squat 2. Wide feet. Forward, back. Do it again. And 2 squats. Come on, keep those feet wide. I know it's hard. We can do it. And you got it right to the very end. And that is it right there. Lunges. 2 on each side. 2 shuffles on each side. We're going to finish it up with lunge. You know we are. And 3, 2, 1. Lunges. And begin right here. Lunge. 2. And shuffle it out for 2. Now keep those knees tracking right toward the toes. Finish it up if you're doing shuffles with me. And time is up. All right. 1 of everything. That's it. 1 of everything. Okay. It's going to feel like a Tabata. So just go with it. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You've got one jack, one shuffle. Ready, set, go. One jack, shuffle. One jack, shuffle. Come on. It's agility training right here. It's what it turned into. Nice job, nice job. Get those heels landing on the ground. And done. 10-second recovery. One butt kicker each side. One run forward and back. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on, fast feet. I know it's a little challenging to move this fast, but you are warm, you are stretched out, you are ready to rock this. Done. Whew. One squat walk forward and back wide. Ready, set, let's go. Squat down, travel forward, travel back, get down. Don't get sloppy with your movement patterns, guys. Come on, drop those heels to the ground. Almost there and done. All right, one lunge on each side, one shuffle on each side, 20 seconds, 10 recovery. Woo. Let's go. Lunge, lunge, shuffle. Lunge, lunge, shuffle. And just switching your feet, right? Lunge. And that is it right there. Time is up. You made it through your descending ladder. Great job. All right, we're moving on. We're gonna go to strength training next. Now, you just need to wait for this. I'm gonna run out of time, I think. I'm gonna try to get some mini bands in at the end, but we're gonna just do weights only. Now this one is kneeling. You only need one dumbbell. The goal here, this is a chop, but the goal is that it's not a rotational chop like we do a lot of times. If it bothers you to be on your knees, you can stand, but knees is gonna give you more stability. Okay, so we're gonna do 30 seconds. That's it. You're gonna take your glutes, squeeze them tight, so your hips are slightly thrusted forward. You can have your toes to the ground. You're gonna have your weight right at your right hip pocket. You're gonna bring it up and cross over in front of your left shoulder and then right back down. The idea is that we are not rotating, which a lot of times we do, but tonight we are just trying to fight rotation. And if you don't wanna go over the shoulder, just do a bicep curl and then right back to the hip pocket. 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other side. Get ready, get set, and let's begin. Squeeze your backside, lift. It's not about speed, but you only do have 30 seconds, so you know you're gonna be moving moderately fast. But if it gets sloppy, slow it on down. It's just hip to shoulder. Your body wants to rotate, it wants to do this, doesn't it? But we're fighting that. Part of core strength and stability is fighting rotation before we're ready. And time. Whew. Okay, set that weight down. Roll your shoulders, get off of your knees a little bit. Get ready for the other side right away. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Bring it up, right back down. So this should feel decent on your shoulders, especially if you have shoulder issues. It shouldn't put a lot of extra strain, but if it does, lighten the load. Even use a band. Just hold onto the band, pull it apart if you want. Woo! Sweating now. And almost there, almost there. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we're gonna move to the ground. We're gonna continue to fight rotation on this one. This is a single arm press. So one weight. If your shoulders or chest don't feel very supported in this position, bring your elbows in close and do a close range press. If you're okay in the shoulders and in the rotator cuff, you can open into more of a chest press, like a bench press type movement. Either one is fine. But your goal is to keep your hips completely glued to the floor, just like we did when we were doing that TikTok movement for abdominals in the warm-up. Here we go. Legs are straight. Okay, hips are glued to the mat, begin. The heavier your weight is, the more you're gonna feel the abdominals have to work to fight the rotation. And if it's easy, you can also take your opposite arm and float it off the ground. So again, the further arm away from the body and the slower you go, the more your core has to work. Keep coming. And switch, okay, right to the other side. Reset, engage your abdominals, and either elbow in or elbow out, your choice. And let's begin right here. 2 counts up, 2 counts down. Now the rest of your body should also be engaged, okay? It's not just hanging out here. It's stiff, the muscles are engaged, and you are fighting to keep your hips level. Woo, this one always hurts. This one always not hurts in the moment, but man, I always feel it the next day. That shoulder has to work so much harder to stabilize. Good, keep it coming. And time is up. Good, go ahead and sit yourself all the way up. We're gonna come into a standing position. This one, okay, if you are on something where your feet stick a little bit, okay, I'm gonna come onto my mat for this one, but we're gonna have our weight right at our chest only, and it's just there for resistance. We're gonna press against the weight with either of our hands, so both hands. Now the goal here is a hip rotation, but you're also gonna feel this a little bit through the trunk as well. So feet are wide, you're gonna drop your right knee in, and then you're gonna come back. Right knee in, and then come back. You're gonna feel this other leg rotate a little bit, okay? It's going to pivot slightly, but what I want you to do is drop the knee so that it's pointed straight to the ground, so you're getting that internal rotation, okay? One side only. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, squeeze your weight, and begin. Good. So while this is happening, you're also feeling your abdominals work, but it's not a huge rotation in the trunk. It's lower body is where the focus is. And you can even pause for a moment there if you want to. Okay, that feels pretty good. The more you squeeze this weight, the more upper body strength you get at the same time. If it's getting to be too much at all, take away the weight, put your hands together. And that's your timer right there. Let's get ready to go on the other side. I feel that a ton in my obliques on the side that I was moving along with my hip. Here we go. 3, 2, knees are soft, core is engaged, and go. Now pay attention. Do you have the same amount of mobility in this side that you did on the other side? It's different, I know. That's why we tested it. Good job. I'm gonna keep squeezing that weight, get the upper body involved. Nice work. Almost there. And one more time. All right, this time we're gonna be balancing and we're gonna be actually working on rotation. It's a single leg deadlift. Okay, I want you to take your weight. If you don't have a weight, you can use your water bottle. I don't know if my weight's gonna stay upright. Okay, let me use my water bottle. But you just want a visual here, okay? And you're gonna tap it with your hand. So you're gonna put your weight in front of your standing toes. Okay, about a foot in front of your standing toes. Okay, you're gonna take your other leg back behind you. We're gonna have our arms down by our sides. We're gonna bend our stabilizing leg. We're gonna reach, okay, toward our water bottle or weight, whatever we have. Reach across our midline and then stand all the way up. You can tap your toe or you can keep it hovering above the ground. So you're working on rotation on this one. So hinge, bend your knee, and then come back up. If you find yourself rounding to do this move, okay, you're either trying to reach too far to the ground or you're not bending your stabilizing leg. Okay, so you should never round. You're gonna feel that ankle wobble back and forth. It's okay, but try to glue your big toe to the ground. And time is up. Okay, all you're gonna do is switch your water bottle or your weight over to the other side. Let's try to get on the other side. Ready? And begin. And again, one side probably easier than the other. Now when you do this, notice that the movement's coming from the rib cage, not in the hips, okay? We're not twisting our hips, we're twisting underneath our rib cage. Good job, keep it coming. And last one right there. and done. All right, your final move is going to be on the ground with your mini band again. So you're going to grab your light mini band. I would definitely go light. Doesn't matter how strong you think you are. If this doesn't work for your body, I want you to just do arm only. But you're going to take your arms, so your forearms are in the mini band. Okay, we're going to go to our hands and knees. And here's the idea. The idea is that we're going to take our right arm, we're going to lift it to the side without rotating. So we're not rotating to lift. We're fighting rotation. We're just slowly lifting, slowly lowering down, touch our fingers to our fingers, and then right back up. Okay, so 30 seconds on the clock. It's slow. So lift up. Okay, 2 counts, and slow back in. Keep a little tension on the band, and then go right back up again. Fighting rotation through the thoracic spine. Okay, again, your body wants to twist so that you can lift your arm higher, but I want you to fight to keep your belly button parallel to the ground. Squeeze your abdominals. You can do this. One more time, and done. Good. Shake it out. Reset. Other hand on the ground, and begin. 2 counts. Again, one arm might have more range. Don't worry about it. Your goal is to fight to keep your belly button parallel to your mat and your back completely flat. Tuck your chin. If you feel like you're starting to try to jerk to get higher, don't do it. Straight arm if you can. Come on, one more time. And done. Whew. Okay, so hopefully you felt that a little bit through your core while you were doing that. They're small movements, but they really do work to create stability. So we are going to call it good on exercise tonight, and we're going to stretch. We have 5 minutes left in class, so go ahead and find yourself seated on the ground. We're going to go back to that kind of that 90-90 position with our legs, but this time we're going to add a little bigger stretch. So all I want you to do is just tip forward a little bit here and reach your arms to the side. You may feel a little pinching in different places, so modify how your legs are, forward, back, whatever, however you need to. And then we're going to move into a rotation. So rotate, so sit up tall, rotate towards your front leg, but try to take that movement from the ribs and just hold here. Okay, so you're trying to be straight up and down as much as possible, dropping your sitting bones back. Good. And now I want you to reach both arms, okay, out like a big V, and then rotate, rotate, rotate again. As you're doing this, press your back knee to the ground, okay, to hold you in place. Stay. Great job. And then the arm that's in front, I want you to just lift it all the way up. You're going to feel that lengthening right down through the hip flexor. As you press your knee to the ground, you're a little more through the quad. And if you want more, we're going to go back into that hip thrust that we did in the very beginning. Open up our hip flexors. And then switch to the other side. So again, switch the legs over. First things first is just hands by your side. Lean forward for glute stretch. And then sit up tall. Okay, so you're going to rotate and just hold on to your front leg, but try to stay straight up and down. And again, the rotation comes from the rib cage. Hold. Again, while you're doing that, you can press your back knee to the ground. And then open the arms to a V. Okay, and then I want you to just rotate even further. And take your back hand to the ground, front arm up, press your knee down, press your hip forward, lengthen that side body there. And when you're ready, if you want to, lift the hips up. Great job, and release. All right, take your knees over to the right side and just stack them on top of each other. So it might feel a little awkward, okay? But we're gonna take our right arm and we're gonna bend over. I know you might feel like, man, I don't bend like that. That's okay. Even if you just go straight up, you're still gonna lengthen that side of your body there and into your hip. So even if it's straight up, great. If you can, take it over at all. Go ahead and do that. And take that outstretched arm to the ground, and all the way over you go. Now, when you're here, don't just hang out, but think about pushing your rib cage up to the sky, creating space between your bicep and your rib cage. And up and over to the other side. Knees over, again, to the left. Our left arm comes over. Whew. Feet are out. And release. Bring that arm to the ground. Again, pick your rib cage up. Create some space. And release. Good. All right. So we're going to take our legs just in a crisscross position. Take your hands together. And I want you to bring them, point the fingers down. So you're pressing your hands together, point your fingers down, and point them up towards your body. So just kind of creating some mobility here in the wrists. You're also going to feel the stretch through the forearms and shoulders. Just take it at your own pace. It's nothing crazy, it's just mobility. And then if you want to, okay, a little bit of a motion here for the wrist, go in one direction, go in the other, try to keep your hands glued together. And then bring both arms up and behind your ears, and then you're gonna tuck your chin in, round your upper back, bring your elbows towards one another, and then extend through your spine, pull your elbows back as far as they're gonna go. And one more time. And open up nice and wide. We're gonna finish with a calf stretch. So bring your legs in front, put one heel on top of the bottom toes, and just lean forward a little bit, pulling your toes back. If you can reach your toes, give them a little extra assistance and flexion here, but try to keep your body upright. And then switch to the other side. Heel to toes. Again, flex your feet, move your feet in your shoes. And if you can reach, good, go ahead and do it. And done. All right. So, a lot of flexibility training, a lot of mobility training. We're going to keep at it for the month. Not only that, I want you guys to think about what it looks like to be flexible with your nutrition, with your diet. Okay, what, sometimes we get kind of stuck in a standstill of like, well, I've just been doing this and maybe it's not working, but it's just kind of my pattern. I just keep doing it. Think about areas where you can translate flexibility, not through physical flexibility, but also behavioral flexibility, right, into how you can change some of those areas you might be stuck in and kind of move around a little bit and then hold a new position to just to see if something else might work better. Okay, so if you're not finding the results in your nutrition, then it's time to make a little change and and play with things a little bit. So be flexible with that. That's the word of the day. And yeah, this is our only workout this week, but you know what? We'll pick up on Monday next week and go out at full force. All right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I know we did some different stuff, or if you have any questions about assessments, let me know that as well.